Hey, Steve Mignani here doing the junkyard crawl at a private stash in New England. A lot of cool stuff. And this episode is brought to you by High Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts. Now what we have right here is a Dodge A100 pickup truck. Now the A100 arrived in '64, was built through 1970, and most of these things were seen as vans or passenger vans. Few of them were done as pickup trucks. Now the price on this thing, when it was new, was $1,765, which is $132 less than a van. So Dodge didn't charge you extra for the truncated cab. Now we all know that the A100 series followed the Ford Econoline of 1961. And of course Chevrolet also answered the cab forward design Econoline in '64, as did Dodge with their Chevy van. But again, the beauty of the A100 series is the snub nose right here. These things are about 2 feet shorter than a D100 pickup truck, also a Dodge. And the beauty of this was that these things would maneuver around the city, around a barnyard. These would go places a pickup truck wouldn't go as easily. So again, '64 through '70 on these things. Now, on this one, we see the optional Junior West Coast mirrors. These are a $20.50 option. These are Dodge items right here. You paid a little extra for those. And let's look inside this one here. And we can see all kinds of junk and trash inside of it, but we can certainly learn by what we see. That's a 3-speed manual on the shift column right there. There'd be push buttons up till 1965, but what we have here, of course, is the base 3-speed manual. The engine in this is almost certainly a slant 6. Yeah, it's gone, but we can see remnants right here. This is the 3-speed manual transmission in this offset starter motor location right here. There's the tranny on the back. That tells us it's definitely a slant 6. Now here's the deal. The 170 was the base engine. If you paid an extra $40 or $49.70, you'd get the 225 tall deck slant 6, or if you were a big spender, $170.10, which gets you the V8, either a 273 or a 318. Now here's the deal with the pickups. The beauty of these is that while it was considered a compact truck, a half-ton, they never did make these as a 3/4 tonner with the, the 8-lug wheels, the Dana 70s, but these will carry as much weight as will a D100 Dodge. So here we have the catalog showing all the new stuff. This is a 1966 catalog right here, but again, these things had minimal changes visually from '64 all the way through 1970. See selected optional equipment. We see the 225, the anti-spin differential, also known as shore grip, passenger armrest, and we do see that on this one here, dual electric horns, transistor radio. But look up here. These were all available with either base 3,800-pound GVW or 4,600-pound GVW, or at the very top here, 5,200 pounds. Now that's a special vehicle for maximum GV rating of 5,200 pounds with a 2,100-pound payload. The necessary equipment is available as an optional package and includes these components: front stabilizer bar, body channel reinforcements, 2,500-pound capacity front axle with 11 by 2 3/4 front brakes, 1,200-pound capacity front springs, 3,600-pound capacity rear axle, 1,400-pound capacity rear springs, and heavy-duty 3-speed transmission with 10-inch clutch or the 3-speed load flight automatic. Now here's the thing, that 5,200-pound GVW is the same max GVW as a D100 pickup truck. So even though these things were 2 feet shorter, they could carry just as much load. Now this one does have the optional cab corner windows right here for $33.20. Most of these were blacked off right here, just a solid piece of metal, but these give you a little better rearward vision on the highway. You can merge or pull into traffic better and back up a little bit better if you're in a barnyard or construction site. But the beauty of these, again, is the 7-foot bed, which is a half a foot longer than the D100 Dodge pickup truck short bed. So with that said, these little A100 compacts were very popular, not just with buyers of real ones, but also model builders. This is the IMC Little Red Wagon. And we all know that Jay Howell and Dick Bransner, before Bill Maverick Golden, built the original Little Red Wagon with a Hemi in the back, right there. The whole point of this thing was to do exhibition match racing in AFX, but the reality was these things turned out to be really happy. So what happened was Jay Howell and Dick Bransner went off to the Color Me Gone '64 Dodge Superstock and FX, and they gave this thing to Bill Maverick Golden, who turned it into a worldwide sensation on the match race circuit. But here's the thing, IMC, Industrial Motive Corporation, rang the sponge twice. The first release of this model was Little Red Wagon. Well, The Touch-Tone Terror arrived about 1969, and this is sort of flower power. You can see all the psychedelic stuff here, the Frisco ding-a-ling, all these weird things inside. You could build it as a phone company truck, bone stock, and this is the Frisco, whatever this thing is, this weird ding-a-ling, whatever. But again, it's a way out cycle. But again, this tool here was similar to the Little Red Wagon, but molded in white plastic instead of the red. But again, a great model, opening doors, you know, opening tailgate, and again, that awesome 7-foot long bed. If you look on the bottom of this thing, you can see the cut line right there. That's where you're supposed to slice that out to build a Little Red Wagon to put the Hemi in the back. Or in this case, the Touch-Tone Terror, a fictional wheel stander that allowed IMC to get a second run out of the tooling for the original Little Red Wagon. So when you're getting back to this truck, we can see here, this has the rudimentary, the Dodge logo on the back. It would have had a rear bumper. That was standard equipment. Would have been painted. Chrome bumpers were an option on passenger vans, but I like just the basicness, the austerity of these links right here and how to open the tailgate. Let's see if we can get this open. Here we go. And these things, it's almost like a medieval torture instrument. Chains, but anyway, this would come down and your junk would go in the back. Now this one here, again, like all A100 vans, has an 8 3/4 rear axle. And when you see that anti-spin differential, that's another word for sure grip. So if you have a Super B or a Roadrunner or Chrysler Imperial, and when you have sure grip, limited slip differential, about 20% of these things got that optional limited slip differential. And continue our walk toward the front of this thing. We can see this has the same 5 on 4.5-inch bolt pattern that does a half-ton pickup or a Dodge Charger or Plymouth Superbird or any of those. That's the mid-size Mopar B-body bolt pattern right there. And these wheels are correct to this truck. And again, we see the passenger side armrest right here, which was optional, believe it or not. And inside we also see the optional passenger side sun visor up there by the roof. Believe it or not, that was also extra cost. But one thing that's kind of interesting about these is if you look on the B pillars, that circular dome lamp there just behind the door, that thing right there, there's one on each side of the interior. Now that was standard. The point of that was basically to illuminate the cab, which is much larger. But anybody who owns a 68 Roadrunner, Charger, Super B, or like I say, again, even a Chrysler Newport will recognize that dome lamp as being Chrysler's universal one-size-fits-all dome lamp, typically seen up on the headliner above your head, but on A100s installed at each corner to better illuminate these things at night. Now let's try and see if we can open the passenger side door. And the thing with these, there is a data plate on the wheel well that will tell you axle ratio, GVW, which springs, if it's a 5,200 pound or a 46 or a 38 or whatever those numbers were. We can't open that door, bummer. If we could, we'd open this door and right on top of this surface here, there would be a tag that would tell us everything we needed to know about this A100 pickup truck. Now this one here, being unit construction, that means the frame and the body are welded together. If there's any kind of rust, and I think there is, this is usually the tip of the iceberg. If there's any kind of rust in that frame, well, you can fix it, but it's not going to be cheap. But with that said, you know, these A100 pickup trucks with this crazy Little Red Wagon cab forward look to them, like Frankenstein's head coming down the road, these are getting to be really red hot. And there will come a day, I dare say it, when even something this rusty will be salvaged. That day might have arrived already. Now, if you like this video, be sure to ring the bell so you're aware of upcoming videos. In fact, there'll be one tomorrow. We never miss a day. More videos coming every single day. And be sure to subscribe to the Steve Maggs YouTube channel.